Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, this podcast is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Now listen, right now you can take advantage of ExpressVPN's Black Friday Cyber Monday offer to get the absolute best VPN deal you'll find all year. Use my special link, expressvpn.com/getsome to get 4 extra months within the 12-month plan or 6 extra months with the 24-month plan totally free. That's expressvpn.com/getsome to get an extra 4 or even 6 months of ExpressVPN free. Hey, thanks to our sponsor, Blue Chew. Now, people say first impressions are important. What about lasting impressions? That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew helps boost your confidence in the bedroom so you can stay hard and perform at your very best. You hear what I said? Hard. Perform at your very best. Yeah, I said it 2 times. It deserved 2 times when you say hard in the bedroom. Now, Blue Chew wants you to have the confidence to perform at your best. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for my listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code GETSOME at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code GETSOME to receive your first month free. Spelled out for you, Free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast and making their customers hard when it's time to be hard. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Now listen, to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan, it's only going to cost you $15 a month. All you got to do is go to mintmobile.com/getsome. That's mintmobile.com/getsome. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/getsome. Do it right now, because I said so, and you're watching my podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hold on. There we go. Who starts it off with a shady camera, but this guy. Yeah, this is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. As always, we'll start off with my schedule. I'm actually off this weekend. And then next weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Helium Comedy Club. And then let me see after that. Should have had this ready. My bad. And then, let's see. Indianapolis, that's November 29th through December 1st. And then December 2nd, I'm in Tacoma at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. And then December 6th, 7th, and 8th, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky at the Louisville Comedy Club. December 13th through the 15th, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the Pittsburgh Improv. December 20th through 22nd, which is weird. It's kind of become an annual thing. I'm in Denver at the Denver Improv. And then I got a hell of a run to end the year. Me and Lavelle Crawford got a Oh You Funny For Real mini tour going. So December 26th, we're at the Midland Theater in Kansas City, Missouri. December 27th, we're at the Orpheum Theater in New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans. December 28th, we're at the Florida Theater in Jacksonville, Florida. December 29th, we are in San Antonio, Texas at the Tobin Center. And December 30th, Shreveport, Louisiana, Sam's Town Hotel and Casino. And as always, December 31st, Grand Prairie, Texas at the Texas Trust Theater. That one's also going to have Nate Jackson and Miss Pat on my New Year's Eve show in Grand Prairie. So, with that, I had a great time last week. Went to, first of all, shouts out to everybody in Detroit and Hammond, Indiana that came out to the show. We had a ball. And then I went to LA Went to the Bengals Chargers game. God. That was a frustrating game. And shouts out to Dwyane Wade for letting me sit in this suite. But what a frustrating game. It was funny too, because when I got there, obviously I was excited like I always am for a Bengals game. But at one point, about midway through the second or third quarter, I remember Dwyane sat down next to me and he was like, and I'm into it. I'm like, what's up, man? And we're talking about life in general. And then he saw me yell and really get into it. And he goes, oh, you one of those? I said, yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Bengals. And Bengals are the only one that I get emotionally a wreck about. It's not the Reds. There's not an NBA team. There's not a boxer. There's not a UFC fighter. There's not a hockey team or soccer team. It's just not a college football team, not a high school football team. The only team that gets me like, don't want to watch ESPN is the Bengals. And I think they hit a touchdown and I screamed and then something happened. He said, Dwyane just said, look, so ever since I retired, I don't get too high or too low on any kind of sporting event. He goes, I just kind of stay even keel. I said, yeah, well, that's good for you. But that's not where I'm at in my life. This is serious business around here. So, but thanks for letting me sit in your suite. I appreciate it. My son came in town. We just had a ball, man. We did went to the game Sunday. Then we went to Topgolf Monday. Then we went to the Clippers and Warriors game Monday. And it was just a good couple days in LA, man. And brought my new girl, and we was hanging out, and Austin got to hang out with her. It was funny because I posted a video on my Instagram of them two goofing off. So they were just goofing off. It did look like almost brother and sister, not quote unquote dad's girl and his son. But and my girl's younger than me, so. But it was just like it was funny. Like it was cool seeing them interact and laughing, cutting up, kind of bagging on each other a little bit. But I posted a video on Instagram and I said, man, these two have been wrestling around all day. And people would just make the goofiest comments, like, you better watch out, or that's how every porno starts, or am I getting weird vibes from this? And I'm like, oh my God. People just, it's funny how if you take the internet serious and you believe like, and it controls like your emotions, people get all bent out of shape. I'm to the point now where I just be laughing at the comments because I know what it is, you know. And if you're secure with who you are, secure with your relationships with people, the internet doesn't bother you anymore. Because I always said this. They say don't read the comments. We all read the comments. Come on, we all do. Doesn't mean you got to take them to heart, but we all read the comments. But yeah, we just had a great couple days, man. And then me and my girl went to Vegas for a couple of days to celebrate my boy's birthday. And man, I didn't know Vegas has a Peter Luger's now, which is my favorite steakhouse in the country. I only been to the one in Brooklyn. And then thank you, TikTok. Somebody said there's a Peter Luger's in Caesars. And I went, what? So we caught an Uber, made a reservation, and it did not disappoint. I've been to a lot of good steakhouses in my life. I'm a steakhouse guy. And I can honestly say that's my favorite. I mean, they got these big tomatoes. They're like that thick. And they got this Peter Luger sauce. Just get the tomato, put a little salt and pepper on it, dip it in that sauce. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Just a little bit. It's so good. And the steak, oh my God. I don't know what they cook it in, but it's so good. Caesar salad was good. My boy got an apple strudel for dessert. That was good. Everything was good. I ain't gonna lie. They got this bacon. It's like that thick cut bacon. Shouts out to Peter Luger's, man. That is by far my favorite steakhouse in the country. I don't know what that is right there. I thought it was on the computer, but I guess that's on my shirt. But man, yeah, I was a little excited about that Peter Luger's in Vegas. So let me tell you, I was only in Vegas for 2 nights. First night, me and my boys would get on the craps table, and It's cold. It's ice cold. And my boys were throwing out crazy money on the craps table. I'm talking about that. That's what happens when you get back from Vegas and try to record a podcast. You're probably going to yawn. But they bet thousands. I bet hundreds. I'll put it like that. Or I might bet 8,000. Not a roll. I mean, I'll put 1,000 on the table. They're putting thousands on top of thousands. That table was cold, and then it turned. I don't want to put the business. They made a lot. They made so much money on the craps table that night that they took their ID and needed their banking information, things like that. They made a killing on the craps table the first night. So the second night we go back, go to a different crap table, and after the night before, how gamblers are, they think they're going to win again. Here we go again. We're sitting there. We're losing. Same thing. I mean, we can't get a number to pop up. Sevens are coming up left and right. And then it turned again. But not to the point of the night before, but it turned. So we all got up with a little money. So I just remember I had $740 in chips. So I started out, craps, I put $500 down. So I said, all right, I'm take it slow tonight. Bet $25, $30 all over all the numbers. So I end up getting up with $740 off the craps table. And I remember that cashiers, where you turn your chips in, the line was so long, I didn't want to wait in it. So I was like, I'm gonna put it on black. So I just put $740 on black. Bang. Black 33 popped up. Do the math. 1480. When you win, any casino you go to, if you win 1,000, it feels like 10,000. If you win 100, it feels like 1,000. If you win 10,000, it feels like 100,000. I'm sure if you win 100,000, probably feels like 1,000,000. When you win in any casino, it hits different. It's a rush, and you feel like you just took them. As many times as they take you, you feel like you took them. So we had a great. If you can go to Vegas and leave even, that's a good couple days in Vegas. So yeah, we had a great time in Vegas, man. Shouts out to Peter Lugers for bringing the steakhouse to Caesars, and yeah, it's funny too because every time I've been to Vegas, I don't go there a lot, but once or twice a year. I got my shows at the Palms every July, and then I might go there for something else. But it's the first time I have been to Caesars since. So I walked in, pulled up to valet since we shot Think Like a Man 2 there. That's the first time I walked in, and immediately it just felt nostalgic. It brought back all these memories. Like there was a coffee shop that always got this coffee and this gluten-free, sugar-free cookie they had that probably wasn't that good, but I was trying to look a little thinner and Think Like a Man too. So that's what I ate just about every day. I got an oat milk latte and this gluten-free, sugar-free pastry cookie thing at this coffee shop. And then I looked at the bar. That was the bar that me and Gabrielle, I'm going to say Gab, but I feel like Gabrielle, we used to sit and drink wine with Chantel and various people that would stop in. But I remember they had this little area where we would come in, and they kind of got to know us because we were living there after a while. And they had a little area where Gab would sit and drink her wine when we got off set or just had a slow night. And then I'd come up and join her. And then she had her friend Chantel, shouts out to Chantel, would come by. It was a good time. It was a little powwow, just talking and stuff. And don't look into it. Strictly platonic. We're just friends. After that last video I posted with my son and my girl, just don't look anything into what I just said. Just friends talking, all right? But yeah, it just brought back a lot of memories. But they didn't have Peter Luger's back then. They still got the Nobu there. They didn't have Peter Luger's at Caesars. So, yeah, just a good couple days in Vegas. But I will say, when we went to LA, this is the first time I stayed at this hotel called the Shade Hotel in Manhattan Beach. If you're going to go to LA and you want to be around the hustle and bustle of Hollywood, West Hollywood, and I don't know if you're going to a sporting game, whether it's the Clippers' new arena or SoFi or anything like that. Man, Shade Hotel in Manhattan Beach. You're out the way. It's very low key, but the rooms are real cool. There's not a lot of rooms. It's a small hotel, but let me tell you something. The food, unreal. Good and good for you. And the rooms are great. Here's the kicker. They have the heated toilet seats. And man, that's a game changer. I went in there and sat down, and I think I was on the toilet for an hour and a half. Just looking at my phone. I didn't want to get up. I literally got up and sat back down. That's how good it felt. So I think I'm getting one. Might get two, might get three. But that is a game changer. You forget how good a heated toilet seat feels until you sit in one. The Japanese knew what they was doing with the little bidet thing. I mean, the first time I sat on a heated toilet seat, I was in Japan, and everything was on the wall. You flush the toilet on the wall. The little bidet thing came out. Here's what's so funny. First time I sat on a heated toilet seat, I'm in Japan. I'm in there. I do my business, and I'm looking around for the flusher, and it's nowhere. Well, everything's on the wall, but it's all in Japanese. I don't know what I'm pressing. So I pressed the button that I thought looked like flush. Nah, that was the bidet arm. So this arm came out from underneath the toilet seat and sprayed my asshole with water. I was like, ooh, I didn't see that coming. I ain't gonna lie, it felt good. I was like, ooh, because you feel like violated, and then you're like, oh, okay, I see what they did there. And then, but it was funny because I didn't know, I could never find flush. And then I tried to figure it out because you're not really paying attention. And then I remember the next time before I sat down on the toilet, I pressed everything so I knew what was what. And I didn't know the arm was going to come out and spray all over the freaking bathroom. But it was like the movie Alien. It was like, just explodes everywhere. All this hot water. But yeah, Japanese knew what they was doing right there, because this hotel, Shade Hotel, it had the bidet within the seat, in the heated seat, and when you walk in, it just, hey, welcome. That toilet seat just welcomes up, like, we know why you're here. Welcome. You feel like it's like the Ritz-Carlton of toilet seats. It just rises up. Welcome back, Gary. We know why you're here. Go ahead and sit down and handle business. Yeah, so that was good. So it's funny too, because when we were in Vegas, the morning we left, I remember we were sitting there waiting on an Uber, and this guy just walks up. Keep in mind, this is like 6:30 in the morning. So the casino is like a ghost town. And this guy walks up, he looked like a clean cut. Sorry, we just got back. My bad about the yawning. He looked like a clean cut, all-American guy, like he'd be working on Wall Street or something. Had a cup of coffee, and he looked at me, and his eyes were so glazed, and his pupils were so dilated. It was like the white, you could barely see it. It was just so expanded, and the black was so little. He says, can you believe they're here right now? They're here right now. And I was like, you. Then he went to somebody else, and he just had a cup of coffee. He looked like he just got out the shower and had a morning, but clearly he was on something. He was just walking up to people and saying the most random shit. And I remember looking going, did that just happen at 6:30? I would expect that about 3:30 in the morning, but not 6:30 in the morning. But Vegas, man, you never know what you're getting in Vegas, I'll tell you that. So, flying first, last week, I was talking about flying first class. I was talking about, is it okay to sit and coach, and your girl, I'm sorry, was it on this podcast? Anyways, it might have been on the podcast, or it could have been a bit, because I did a bit on my comedy special that's out right now on YouTube called Broken Family. I did a bit about one time I got upgraded and my ex-wife didn't, and I asked her, is it okay if I sit in first? And it's funny because I think I might have asked that on my podcast, and the comments I got it was all over the place, really. Why? This is why it's weird. Like, I know your phone hears you, but sometimes I think the universe hears you. And it is true, the energy you put out there, the energy you get back. Because I talked about one time I got upgraded and my ex didn't. Asked her, can I sit in the front? And it was a joke, but it really did happen. Why am I flying? I'm flying from I'm flying from LA to Vegas? No. I was flying from, where's that? I was flying from Detroit. I was from Chicago to LA. And the guy next to me got upgraded, evidently, and his girl didn't, or he bought the first class seat and she was in coach. Because I'm looking at it, dude was real cool, and the girl gets on, and she kept walking up the first talking to him. And then when I saw them kiss, I went, oh, I don't know if it was a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, but he sat in first and she was in coach. And I go, what are the chances that I just released that clip on social media from my special last week that I talked about it? It was either my podcast or the podcast I got with Nate Jackson that we talked about it. And then it happened right next to me. I was like, just life imitating art, man. It's just crazy how these things happen. And another thing that always happens to me on these flights too, like I've noticed is I always say I like the A side. I like the window and I prefer the A side. And it don't matter if I'm in 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A, 9A, 10A. The person on the other aisle, the other side, the other window, they always leave the window open. We flew in this morning, and I'm not lying to you. Every window was closed because it was an early morning flight coming from Vegas to Houston. Most people want to sleep. This guy, it was the only window open, and it was so bright, it was just coming in. And I was just like, it's every time though. And then I saw like Russell Peters a while back on social media said, why does this always happen to me? And I was like, I thought it only happened to me. Because it just glares up everything. I'm like, every time though. Every time. And I'm just going, oh, why does it keep happening to me? So, anyways, I thought it was funny that I talked about last week, and then it happened to me in real life. And then other news, Delta is going to start serving Shake Shack on flights. I think it's only from Boston, and flights over 900 miles, you can get Shake Shack. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've never had Shake Shack fries. I think I've had Shake Shack burgers. I usually wrap them in lettuce, but I'm sure they're not going to be lettuce wrapped. I'm sure it's just hamburger, cheeseburger. But, just thought I'd throw that out there. Shake Shack's going to be on Delta flights for flights over 900 miles in the near future. So, the other two big things over the weekend was, I still say the election's over, we're still fine. And it's funny, when I made my podcast last week, I said, I just said I try to support whoever wins the election. Because that's our president, whether we like it or not. And if our president's doing right by the country and trying to make the country a better place, then we should support him or her. But I've always been like that. Maybe I'm an optimist. I don't know. I just think, like I said, politics, what sucks, it's either all right or all wrong. It can never be like, I like that, but didn't like that. And somebody made a post, basically what I said. They said, I haven't watched like CNN or Fox for the last 2 weeks, and my anxiety has went down tremendously. And I was like, that's what I've been trying to tell people. I just try to pay my bills, live my life, and I don't try to get into the political aspect of things. I don't consider myself a Democrat or a Republican. I'm just a guy trying to pay his bills, live his life, and do right by people and treat people good. That's just who I am. So I thought it was funny though that, again, something I talked about, I saw somebody posted on Twitter I haven't watched CNN or Fox, or it could have been MSNBC and something else. And they said my anxiety has gone down tremendously. Duh. So anyways, the other two big things, there was two huge fights over the weekend. There was Tyson and Jake Paul, and then, which I'll get into next, but the Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic fight. Miocic. It was funny because I'm watching it. It was at my show in Hammond, Indiana. So I ended up getting on the TV in my dressing room. And I'm watching it. And I don't like a lot of people around when I'm watching a fight, especially if I paid for it. I don't want to be entertaining people. I don't need people's commentary on everything. So I like to listen to the announcers and really watch it. Just like if I'm watching a Bengals game. I'd rather do it in my hotel room at my house. If I'm at the game, I don't want to go to a bar and watch it because I don't need people's commentary. And I do like to hear the announcers. So I'm watching it. I just remember my dressing room, there was probably about, at one point, 5-6 people in it. And I literally, somewhat told a lie. I said, hey, I got to take this phone call. You guys step out for a minute. I got to FaceTime. And everybody stepped out of my dressing room. And I never told everybody to come back. I just left it. Because I didn't want to buy in there. I wanted to watch the fight without anybody. Ooh, he should have got him. He missed that. Like, you're an expert. And then, because it just takes one person to get loud. And then people are drinking. Not that people were drunk, but just after the show, people have my guys have their vodka that they like, or their tequila or stuff like that. And then if you get like 5-6 people in a dressing room, it just takes one person, another person to co-sign, and pretty soon it's loud, and then I'm aggravated. So, cat's out of the bag. I didn't take a phone call. I didn't have a FaceTime. I just wanted to watch the fight by myself with nobody else in the room. So, sorry guys. You can say it was a lie. Or you could say I was trying to let people down gently, but it was getting too loud. And I wanted to watch the Jon Jones Stipe fight without any interruptions. I'll put it like that. But I think people always talk about Dana White saying Jon Jones is the greatest of all time. And people always give him shit. But I think we can kind of put that to bed. Like Jon Jones, I feel like Dana White right now, but Jon Jones is so good. To go up all those weight classes and then to end up at heavyweight and dominate heavyweight. He's almost more dangerous as a heavyweight than he was as a light heavyweight. For some reason, he's knocked. Well, he's choked. He choked Cyril Gahn out, and then he knocked out Stipe with a body kick. He's literally more dangerous as a heavyweight, and he's knocking people out. And there's such a discrepancy. It's like as soon as the fight starts, he's at a whole nother level. It's weird. At first, that's the thing I will say. UFC and even the Jake Paul Tyson fight, they'll hype you up. And that's their job, is to make you feel like the underdog can win or anybody has a shot. But most times, immediately when that fight starts, you're like, oh, this is going to be different. People can always catch somebody with a lucky shot, but you could tell there's definitely a skill level difference. Even when the Michael Chandler fought Charles Oliveira, the skill level was so evident that Charles Oliveira was way up here compared to Michael Chandler. But Michael Chandler, he got that one-hitter quitter. His 2 wins in the UFC were one was a one-punch knockout, the other was a one-kick knockout. And they were brutal. So he's got that power, but it was so obvious. The start of the Michael Chandler fight and the Jon Jones fight, it was just like Charles Oliveira is, light years ahead. Michael Chandler as far as skill-wise. And then Jon Jones was just light years ahead. Stipe just looked like, I'm done. I think he realized after the first round, like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be tougher than I thought. And win or lose, I think Stipe was going to retire, and he did retire. It was such a good. Jon Jones is just so good. He was not. Keep in mind, back in the heyday when he was wilding, he was doing cocaine and partying like 2 days for his fight and annihilating people. it really was like, it's crazy how these great athletes can party. And if you got it, you got just like God-given talent. It's just wild to me. I've always heard those stories about Mike Tyson back in the day, and about to get in the Tyson-Paul fight in a minute. And then Lawrence Taylor stories were so legendary. How he was just the night before games, we're just running through hoes, doing blow, and then getting 3 sacks. I mean, the Mets in the 80s with Strawberry and Gooding and Lenny Dykstra and them, like, they was wilding. They were like sleeping with chicks in between innings in the dugout underneath the stadium. I was like, and then beating the shit out of people on the field. It's just, you hear so many stories of these just amazing athletes just wilding. And then you got guys like, the one thing I'll never forget is Tyson fighting Lou Savarese in Scotland. And like, Lou Savarese was there for like 2-3 weeks to acclimate to the time change and everything else. And so his body was in peak physical condition. Then Tyson got there like Thursday, and the fight was Saturday. I knocked him out in the first round. I was like, and I don't think Tyson's in the greatest shape in that fight. So, I can firmly agree with Dana White right now. Like, Jon Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time because he just moved up weight classes, and he seems like he's more dangerous as a heavyweight. And it's funny, like, I like watching Dana White's post-fight interviews on YouTube. And he said, after that fight, I can say I really don't want to see Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones. And I was like, I agree. Because Pereira's got power, but I don't think he'd catch Jon Jones. And then Jon Jones can just wrestle and keep him at bay. He's longer and taller. And I'm going, if people forget, if Izzy knocked Pereira out, what do you think Jon Jones is going to do? I'm just like, I would bet the house Jon Jones would beat Alex Pereira. And this is no disrespect to Alex Pereira. That's a bad mother. But, I just don't see anybody beating Jon. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Now, listen, can you imagine, like, going out to eat, and what if you want Italian, Thai, Greek, Japanese? Sometimes you don't know what you want till you decide, hey, we're going to go out to eat tonight. But then you come to find out you can only go to one restaurant. Like, I want Italian, but there's only a Greek restaurant. I want Mexican, but there's only a Japanese restaurant. Now, listen, that's what it's like to use Netflix without ExpressVPN. You only get to watch content available in one country. Or what about this? What about you're at the gym and you want to bench press, get the chest right, but you can only use a treadmill. That's what watching Netflix is without using ExpressVPN. So listen, right now, you can take advantage of ExpressVPN's Black Friday / Cyber Monday offer to get the absolute best VPN deal you'll find all year. Use my special link, ExpressVPN. I'm going to spell it out for you. ExpressVPN.com/getsome. You get an extra 4 months within the 12-month plan or 6 months within the 24-month plan, totally free. That's expressvpn.com/getsome to get an extra 4 or even 6 months of ExpressVPN for free. Take control of your lives, people. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Blue Chew. Now I know what you're thinking. Gary, does Blue Chew work? Can you endorse it? Can you really say it works? Yeah, it does. You want to know how I know? Because I've used it. Yeah, and I'm happy, and better yet, my partner's happy. Now listen, you can try it for 1 month and see. You're going to love it. I already know it. And better yet, your partner's going to love it. Just think, you could be missing out on the best sex of your life. With Blue Chew, men everywhere, they're excited to see the postman because when your package has arrived, your package has arrived. Can I say it again? Your package has arrived. They say there's nothing sexier than confidence, and Blue Chew can help you give you that confidence where it counts. Now listen real good right now. Blue Chew wants you, I'm talking to you, to have the confidence to perform at your best. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you When you use the promo code GETSOME at checkout, all you gotta do is pay $5 for shipping. That's nothing. That's BlueChew.com, promo code GETSOME to receive your first month free. One last time, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast and making sure people are happy when those doors are closed and it's time for action all over the earth. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Now listen, we're in an age where everybody needs a cell phone. You got to be in contact with people. We are in a digital, AKA text, AKA we got to talk to each other lifestyle right now. Now, I like a good deal like anybody else. And if you're telling me I can get a deal for $15 a month, I want to listen. So here you go. Mint Mobile, we got wireless prices. $15 a month to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for, remember what I said? $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/getsome. Now, listen to this. $45 upfront payment required. That's the equivalent of $15 a month for you math majors. New customers on first 3-month plan only, speeds slower, above 40 GBs, that's gigabytes, on unlimited plan. Additional taxes and fees and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. I'm Gary Owen, and I just told you to do it. Mint Mobile. So let's get into the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. Some people say it was fixed. I don't believe that. I do believe Jake took his foot off the gas when he realized, and again, within 30 seconds of round 1, you knew, this isn't going to go well for Tyson. You didn't want to see him get knocked out. And like I said last week, that you don't want that to be his legacy. I love the interview Tyson said when that girl was asking about legacy, and he just went off. You get about legacy, you're dead, you're dirt, you're gone. I was like, yeah, I think within the media, everybody that knows boxing knew this ain't gonna last long. And if it does, just because Jake kind of taking his foot off the gas, and I think Jake knew that. And but I love all these conspiracy theories, like it was a hoax, it was a sham. I don't think that. There's a couple slow-mo videos that show a Tyson like he's about to throw and he lets up at the end. What I think is, I said Tyson's 58. People forget, even when he fought 20 years ago, he wasn't that good his last 2-3 fights. He had already kind of checked out mentally. And the guy's been doing shrooms and weed and everything else the last 20 years. Like, dude, they give us all this, make us feel like Tyson is shot by a sparring video for 10 seconds. And I'm just going, yeah, I think the only way he had a shot was to catch Jake, and it had to be a one-hitter quitter, because even if he would have buzzed Jake Paul, I think he wouldn't have had anything to follow it up. He would have just been, and then there wouldn't have been like a flurry afterwards. Like if he knocked Jake Paul down, right? If Jake Paul got up, I don't think Tyson would have anything left. I don't think he would have anything left to finish him up. I mean, it just would have been, Tyson almost tripped walking in the ring. So it was a great marketing job. Everybody got paid. It's funny because people keep saying this is the last Jake Paul fight I watch, but the numbers say different. The numbers say, yeah, you're going to keep watching. And Jake, like I said, Jake's smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's getting the right people. If he has a fight that doesn't do numbers, because some of his fights haven't, he's like, okay, I gotta do something to shake things up and get somebody bigger. And Tyson was the perfect guy, and it was low risk. So wasn't a big fan of what his brother said when Tyson was kind of goofing off, like, I don't know, maybe I'll fight his brother next. He goes, what do you think about that, Logan? He goes, I'll fucking kill you, Mike. I think that was one of those, it just came across wrong. It just didn't come across right. He should just play with it, like, I don't want to fight Mike, but I'll fucking kill you, Mike. I was like, I didn't really like that. But I don't think it was a setup. I don't think it was a computer. I just think it was a 50-year-old man fighting a 20-some-year-old man. And the 20-some-year-old man took his foot off the gas, so he didn't hurt the 58-year-old man. It wasn't fake or anything like that. I just think Tyson didn't have much left. And I do think Jake took his foot off the gas. But for those people that say this is the last Jake Paul fight I watch, I doubt it. If you can't tell me if he fought Conor McGregor in a boxing match, you wouldn't watch. Of course I'd watch. In the end, it's entertainment. And Jake knows how to entertain people. And he puts asses in seats. And he just took a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book. Floyd Mayweather was the heel. That Oscar De La Hoya fight, he goes, okay, I'm going to be the asshole. I'm going to run with it. I'm going to talk shit. When he called Shane Mosley hot tub time machine, there's some legendary moments in 24/7. But I think Floyd Mayweather was the greatest boxer of all time. Just because I never saw him get hurt. I never saw him in real danger in any fight. And he always figured it out. At one point, he would figure it out. He'd go through the motions. Like the first couple rounds, you might get him. But by round 3 or 4, he got your number. And then he just handled business. So Jake Paul literally watched a lot of film of Floyd Mayweather and was like, all right, the asshole sells tickets because people want to see the asshole get knocked out. And Jake Paul readily admits that. I don't think he's an asshole in person. I think he's good for boxing. I think he makes sure everybody in the undercard's paid. So if we just look at it what it is, it's fun, it's entertainment. There's nothing like watching two people get in the ring fight. Then Jake's doing it. So I'm not mad at that guy at all for doing what he did. It's just so funny when people take things serious. Like he's got he had the heavyweight champ sending tweets out and other boxing champions like, I'll fight you. I'm like, that's all you need to know right there. And they're serious. You know why? Because eyeballs are going to make money. That's why they do it. And Jake's good at that. So I'm not mad at Jake Paul at all. I know I'll probably watch his next fight. And, because, you're only watching this fight to see him get knocked out. That's all you're watching it for. But the guy's smart. He's got all these Celsius everywhere now. He's got some deodorant. He's spraying on himself. Yeah, we'll watch. So, all right, y'all. So, look. My Bengals are sucking right now. We're in our bye week. Joe Burrow's in the building on his bye week. We got the Steelers coming up. Next week is Valentine's Day. Jesus Christ. Next week is Thanksgiving, so I will be off next week. I'm not going to be doing a podcast. So the next time I see you guys, the Bengals will either be 5-7. Oh, no. Next time I see you guys, it'll be the week before the Steelers. So, no. Yeah, it'll be before the Steelers game. So 2 weeks. Will it? So I don't. Let me see here. I'm sorry, guys. Let me look at this. So I'm not going to do a show next week because it's Thanksgiving. I'll be back in 2 weeks. And where's the calendar? So, it's bad when I got the Bengals and where they're playing in my phone. What city? So the Bengals are off this week. And I'm not doing a show on that. So the next time y'all do an episode is December 5th. Yeah. They'll already have played the Steelers. So when I come back, the Bengals will either be 5-8. No. They'll either be 5-7 or 4-8. And then we got the Cowboys, the Titans, and the Browns. 3 winnable games. If we can somehow beat the Steelers, because I think the Steelers are legit. That defense is no joke. Might get on a roll. And don't be jumping off the bandwagon already. And we just went to the Super Bowl 3 years ago, and then we went to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, and then last year everybody thought we were done. We ended up being 9-8. So it's funny how people are like, Zach Taylor's a terrible coach. I go, what world do you live in? Do I think he's the best coach in the NFL? No. I think the 2 best coaches in the NFL are without a doubt Mike Tomlin and Andy Reid. I think those are the 2 best coaches in the NFL. Just sucks that one of them in our division against our rival. But those are they're the two best coaches. That's why their teams never suck. But I don't think, I just think it's crazy how people just want to fire Zach Taylor right off the bat. There's some things, I didn't like, but that comes with it. But I didn't like the fact that we ran 3 times. We were playing the Ravens in a row, and then we missed the field goal. Missed 2 field goals this week. I don't know what's going on with Evan McPherson, our field goal kicker, but I really hope he figures it out on this off week, gets the yips out. And it's bigger than just the kicker. It's like the long snapper, the holder, and the kicker. There's a reason Justin Tucker has had the same long snapper, same holder his whole career. That's why he's so good with the Ravens. But I just hope McPherson can figure it out on this bye week. And I don't know. It's just frustrating. Burrow's playing out of his mind. Jamar Chase playing out of his mind. Chase Brown's actually doing well other than that fumble against the Ravens. Sorry to bring that up. But, what? I'm still here. You see, I'm still got the orange and black. I ain't leaving. I'm diehard. I'm loyal to the soil. That's it. That's what everybody said in LA. They said no matter what you can say about Gary, you ain't going to say he ain't loyal. He's diehard. It's all right, y'all. Well, look, I'm off this week. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend, I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana at Helium Comedy Club. So, I'll end up being burned afterwards by Rocky Patel's having cigars. So, all right. Cross your fingers. Cincinnati Bengals, baby. I can't leave you. You keep dragging me back in. All right. I'll see y'all next week. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast. Who dey?